Hey everyone, it's Jen. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I have a fun little tutorial on how to make these air dry clay macarons. I had shown them in a previous haul video and I had a few requests to show you how I made them. So they're really easy. The hardest part is just waiting for the different stages to dry. So I will film this over a few days, but I will show you all the steps. I'll show you all the supplies that you need, and they're just really fun for decor. These are a great size. These I made with a mold from Temu, which I'll show you, and these come out to be, let's see, they're about 2 by 2. So, and you can make them as thick as you want with the clay inside. So this one I made the cookie parts with white clay and I painted them with paint. I used acrylic paint, Folk Art Baby Pink. This one here, I used 2 different color clays so I didn't have to do the painting part. And I'll show you those as well. This is an air dry clay decoration I made with a mold too. So let me show you all of the supplies that you'll need. All right, I have this tray that I put everything on. Let me just bring it over. All right, so this is the mold that I got from Temu. And if it's still available, I will link it down below. It was, relatively inexpensive. It's really nice, good quality silicone mold. So you can use this, tutorial for whatever kind of mold, but I'm going to show you exactly how to make this one. So this makes the 2 different cookies for your macaron, and you fill in the cream yourself. So there's that. This is the mold that I used for the bow for this one. This is a fondant mold from Hobby Lobby in the baking section. These tools came with the clays that I got from Temu. I got this pack. These are just a few of the ones that it came with, but like this rainbow assortment of air dry clay from Temu. I'll link it down below as well. And it's nice because it comes with lots of different colors. The only bad thing is that it comes with 1 of each color, and 1 of these bags makes 1 cookie. So you kind of have to make 2 different color cookies, which is cute. It's just whatever. And then this is the bag of white air dry clay that I got from Temu. This is obviously a bigger bag. It was 6 something if I recall correctly. I'll link that down below too. And let's see, what else? Okay, so I'm going to use Mod Podge at the end. Well, I might not actually. But this I recommend to use to coat your macaron to preserve it, to give it like a protective coating. This is satin Mod Podge, so it'll give like a little bit of sheen to it, but it won't make it super glossy. And then you're going to need some cornstarch. I have this in my craft room for other purposes, so it just, I have it already. So just, go in your baking cabinet and get out a little bit of cornstarch. You'll need a little paintbrush. These are 2 paints. I think I'm going to use this paint to paint my macaron. This is from Target. It's acrylic paint. The color is Misty Ocean, and it has a satin finish already. So I might not use Mod Podge, but then again, I probably should to preserve it. So we'll see about that. This is the clay that I used for the inside for the cream of the macaron. And this is whipped clay from Hobby Lobby. It's a crafter's collection. It was $2.79 and it comes with 4 different colors, or you could get a pack of all white ones. The pastel assortment, which is this, comes with orange. Comes with white, which I've been using up, and because I use that for those 2. Oops, sorry about my tripod. It comes with yellow, and I think this is like a greenish one. Oh, no, pink. Okay. And then the good thing about this is it comes with different decorating tips. So I use the biggest one, which is this one. And you just unscrew the whipped clay and screw this on the top, and then it comes out like frosting. So it's a great product, I think. I really like it. And then I have alcohol wipes. I use these to clean my glass craft mat in my craft room, but these work great to clean out your molds when you're done. And sometimes they get a little dirty because they attract like lint and stuff. So these work really well to clean out your mold. So I just did that before I came on, and they look pretty clean. There looks like a little spot there. But anyway, so let's get started, okay? That's what you're going to need to make these. I'm just going to move this off to the side. All right, so the first thing you want to do is take your cornstarch and coat your mold with the thin layer of cornstarch, and this helps the clay not to stick. I'm just gonna move my little spoon over. Just take your paintbrush, dip it in your cornstarch, and then just paint. And make sure you get in all the nooks and crannies. And that really does help it release, because I did try it both ways. I saw this as a tip on somebody else's video, and I tried it both ways just to see if it really made a difference, and it does. So I definitely recommend coating your mold with cornstarch. Get in all those nooks and crannies. You don't have to go crazy, just make sure it's pretty well coated. So I'm just gonna dump this out over my garbage. And there it looks like that. So we'll close that up and keep that for later. Okay, so there's our mold all set. And then you take your clay, and I'm going to use the white one because I do want to paint it at the end. And in between uses, you really want to make sure your clay is nice and sealed. So it comes in a Ziploc bag here, but then I wrap mine in Glad Press and Seal, and I keep a roll of that in my craft room. I actually use that to line my tray as well. It just keeps everything airtight and mess-free. Move that over. Okay, so air dry clay is a really nice lightweight texture, and when it dries, the finished product is really nice and light too. So you just break off a bit. It's like taffy. It's really satisfying to work with. And you're going to break off a pretty big chunk. That's probably too big, but you want to knead it in your hand to get it nice and extra soft, pliable, a little bit warm from your body heat. Just kind of roll it around, get all the seams out. And it's just nice to do this. It feels really good. It doesn't stick to your hands or anything. Okay, so just do that for a minute or so. Roll it around. It doesn't really smell. It's just a fun project. I probably should have taken my rings off, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you press it nicely into your mold, any marks like that will be pressed out. All right, so let's press it into our mold. So you just put it in your mold and press it. Press it really, really firmly. You want to make sure that the clay goes into those grooves on the side. Just keep pressing it. And don't worry if it's too much. We're going to shave off the rest with our clay tools. But just go around, press it in like that, okay? So as you can see, it goes over the edge, so we got to take off the excess. So take one of your clay tools. If you don't have these clay tools, use anything with like a straight edge. And I actually haven't used these yet. I used something else the first time I made them. So let's see. I guess we'll probably use this one and see how it goes. So you want to take it from the center and go out like that. And then just take off the clay as you go. Save it for later. You can always reuse that. And then just go around so it's, flatter. You get the excess off. It's very forgiving, this clay. This would be really fun to do with kids because, there's no heat involved. There's no baking. Just dries. If you have impatient kids or you're an impatient crafter like me, then, that's the most difficult part is waiting, like I said in the beginning. And then I'm just going to go back and press it in again. It doesn't have to be super flat. I mean, you want it to be relatively flat because you're going to put the two sides together, but it's okay if it's a little bit rounded. All right, and then what I find is important is make sure you get the little part. See that little bit of excess that's on the edge of the mold? Just kind of push that back in towards the middle. That just keeps everything nice and neat, and you'll make sure that it detaches nicely from the mold. Now, I was wondering when I first started this, okay, do you take it out now or do you let it dry and then take it out? And I find that it just depends on the clay. The white clay, when I made this one, it came out right away nicely. The colored clay that I used for this one, it was a little wetter. So that one I had to let dry let's see, I probably let it dry overnight and then I popped it out. And it wasn't all the way dry when I popped it out. Neither one of them were. So you have to let them dry, you know, out of the mold as well. So now I'm just going in from the outside the mold, pushing to the center, just to make sure it's not stuck on the top lip of the mold. Now, I haven't done this for a long time, so if you see other ways to do it, I'm sure that there are better ways. This is just the way I do it, and it worked out fine, so why not show you guys, right? Okay, so there's one. Let's do the other one the same exact way. So my plan is to make a bunch of these and put them on a little plate and use them as decor in my seasonal displays. And you could put that in your like Valentine's decor, or, you know, do this for Easter. I have some Easter macaron decorations that I bought from, you know, Home Goods or one of those places a couple years ago, and they're super cute. So you can embellish these with cabochons, you know. Anything you want. Doesn't have to be like an air dry clay decoration. You don't have to embellish them with anything. Or even like I have like dollops of whipped cream cabochons. I think that would be really cute. All right, you know what? I'm just going to leave it like that. I think that looks fine. Flatten it out. All right, now I'm going to try and pop this out like it is. So I'm just going to move. This is the first one we made. I'm just going to move the mold away from the sides, and you can see what it looks like, right? So to pop it out, just turn it over. There. Look at how cute that is already. You can leave them white if you want to also. So I am going to go ahead and just put this over on my tray that has the cling wrap on it, or press and seal. And then do the same thing to the next one. Just take it out. Make sure this piece pops out. Yeah, I recommend just going around the whole circle first and then popping it out into your hand. Ta-da! All right, so those two are ready to go. While I'm thinking of it, I'm going to wrap this up nice and tight. This is the bag that it came in, and then I have my press and seal too. So I'm going to clean up here, and then I'll be back tomorrow, but it'll just be in a second here. And then we will we'll paint the cookies and get ready to do the whipped topping. So see you tomorrow. All right, it's actually 2 days later. I came down yesterday and I turned these over so they would dry on both sides, and they're perfectly dry. Off camera, I made another one, and I used 2 of the little pouches of clay from Temu. So I made one in this like kind of a orchid color, and then like a bluey purple. So these are just about dry, so I'm just going to go ahead and use them. And then I had a little bit of each color left over, so I made a little bunny and a little duck. And those come from this mold that I think I got from Joann's a few years ago. As you can see, this color stained my mold. I tried to get it out with alcohol. It did the same thing with my macaron mold. Hopefully that's not a problem. I don't think it will be. I mean, this color is not coming out, so maybe some colors just stain your molds. So anyway, what we're going to do now is paint our white macarons the robin's egg blue color. Or what's it called? Misty Ocean satin finish, and that I had gotten at Target. So just get yourself another paintbrush, a different one than you used your cornstarch for, and just paint it. So I paint the top, the sides, and a little bit of the bottom, because you might see that when you're looking at your macaron from other sides. And there's, just paint it. So I always get paint on my fingers when I do this. It's kind of hard to avoid unless you put this on top of something that you don't have to touch it. I'm not that resourceful, so I'm just going to go like this. And the paint's easy to clean off your hands. Just get a baby wipe out and do that. So just going to paint, paint, paint. Make sure you get the brush strokes out. With the pink one that I didn't have to do 2 coats. This paint looks a little thinner, so I might have to do 2 coats. But these dry really, really quickly, acrylic paint. So once I'm done painting these, we'll go ahead and fill the other macarons and then come back to this, and then we'll be able to fill that too. All right, so there's one. Let's do the other one. Whoops, sorry about that. I got my paintbrush caught in the cord of my mic. I have a wireless microphone, but sometimes I forget to charge that, and I think the sound is better in my wired one, so I just use that one. So while that's drying, we'll go ahead and fill this one up with some cream. So I'm going to pick one of the other colors, not white, just to change it up a little. So I have the white here. This one is pink. I'm thinking that one. There's yellow and orange. Yeah, let's go with the pink. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to take the biggest tip, which I had used already, and you want to make sure you clean this out good after you use it, or else the clay will harden in there. So just take the tip or the top off of your clay, and it's got a little silver thing. Let me just get that off. Okay, that took a while to get that off, or most of it, so I'm going to screw the tip onto there. So nice and easy. And then just kind of squeeze it up so you see the clay coming up the top like that. Okay, so then it doesn't really matter what side. I think I'll make this side the bottom. And if you're a decorator, you know how to do this, but I'm going to start in the middle and then just kind of make a circle and go almost to the edge. You don't need to go all the way to the edge, because once you squeeze down the second cookie on top, it kind of oozes to the very edge, which is what you want. Oops. And you can always go back around. Get off. Okay. Start over here. All right, so that should be good, just like that. And then you take your top layer and just make sure you have the 2 wrong sides together and just squeeze it down. Make sure it's centered. Like that. Looks cute, right? I like it. All right, so that has to dry. And while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to take this off and go clean this, because I think for this macaron we'll use the white icing. So I'm going to cover this back up. I'm going to clean this, put a second coat on there, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so it's later in the day because I wanted to, well, I did do a second coat on these, but I also wanted to try out some Mod Podge and show you how that looked and see if we wanted to continue. So on this one that I had already made, I put a layer of the satin Mod Podge on there and let it dry, and it looks really nice, I think. It gives it just a little bit of a sheen, and it protects it too, so I'm going to keep going with that. I did Mod Podge the little animals that I made as well. So that's the only thing I did besides do the second coat of these. And then I decided we're going to do yellow in the middle of the aqua macarons. So I'm going to do that now and do it just like we did the last time. Start in the middle. And this yellow is a very light yellow. I love these pastels. But I think if I get them again, I think I might just get the white pack. I'm because I don't really know if I need the pastel insides for the macarons. All right, so we have that. And we're going to take our other layer and just squish it down like that. Make sure it's centered. Looks like I need to do a little bit more painting there, but do that after it's dry. Jeez, almost dropped it. Okay, just make sure it's even. Oh, that looks so good. Good enough to eat. All right, so we will let this guy dry. Just put it down there for now. And this one that we made before is pretty much dry, I think. Yeah, I definitely could have done that neater, but oh well. So let me just show you how to do some Mod Podging. I'll wait till this is all the way dry and wait till that's dry, and we'll Mod Podge those. So I'll just show you how to Mod Podge. It's very easy. I used I wrapped it in press and seal, just one of the foam brushes. And you just dip it in here and coat your object. Just like a thin coating. Kind of smells, but that's the way Mod Podge always smells. It's non-toxic. So just go over it like this, and it's going to leave just like a milky finish, but that will dry clear. You don't want to put it on too thick, just a nice thin coating, but you do want to get all the surface. And that includes all the little nooks and crannies of the cookies. And we're going to do the inside too. And I got this Mod Podge, the satin one, at Hobby Lobby. I'm sure they have it other places too. Hobby Lobby has a really good selection of different finishes of Mod Podge. And the price was pretty good too. I think it was, what did it say? $6.49 for this big bottle. So we'll do this. Let this dry, then off camera, probably tomorrow, I will do the other two macarons that we made together with Mod Podge, and then we'll do a little bit of embellishing, and then we'll be done. So it's fun. It's a fun project, and you could save these from year to year, you know, put them out in your displays. Gift them. Mod Podge does give it a protective coating, so it should keep them nice and shiny for years to come. And yes, I'm getting messy again, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to put this down to do the rest and just let it dry. All right, so I'm going to clean myself up, and then I will come back tomorrow. Everything will be Mod Podged, and we'll just maybe try a decoration or two. All right, so I'll be back tomorrow. Bye. Okay, so we've reached the end of our macaron journey. Everything is done. Let me show you some of the toppings that I made. For the pink one, I added a dollop of the whipped clay, and I used one of the smaller tips, and then I just pressed in a strawberry cabochon, and I think it looks super cute. And then for these two, I had some like little whipped cream cabochons, and I made them glossy by adding some Lawn Fawn clear glaze, and I just kind of like dab that on because they were just matte. I didn't think they looked like whipped cream when they were just matte, so I think they look really cute glossy. And I added those on with some E6000 glue so they would stay on. And I think they look really cute. They're nice and a little bit shiny with the satin finish Mod Podge, and I think that looks really nice. So I put them on some doilies, some pedestals, just so you could see how they will look on display. And yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It's very fun to do. It just takes a while to dry, so give yourself a few days to make them. Just, you know, give them enough time to dry overnight between steps. All right, you guys, that is it for today. Please let me know what you thought of this tutorial, and if you have any questions, let me know. I will link the molds down below, just in case they're still available on Temu, the molds and the clay. And otherwise, let me know if you have any questions, okay? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet. And for everybody who's returning, thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you guys come back and watch my videos. So thanks again. I'll be back soon, and have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Bye.